Good morning. I see a lot of people flying in right now, so give it a few seconds. Wow, that goes fast. It's like a flower unfolding of all these beings coming in. Hey, everyone. I am going to the other pages too for a moment. I want to see all your faces. Yeah, welcome. Good Sunday morning, your awakening wonders. Let's just all take a breath right away. Just feel into your body. What does it feel like today? What does it feel like to be you today? Welcome, all of you, just really being here together. Arriving, natural body, natural breath and energy, natural heart and mind. And then, like I sometimes say in different places, I really don't care if you become an excellent meditator. I just want you to be profoundly free. And from having that stance of freedom in heart and mind, over time, there's a flourishing of positive mind states and a diminishing of negative mind states. So one of the main pointing out instructions in Sochen is for us to discern the difference between the habitual structures of the mind and timeless awareness itself. So what our practice is to have or allow the habitual contextual mind step aside, just letting these thought patterns fall back a bit. So in the moment when we just allow mind with a little m to recede a little, there's immediately we experience an arising of timeless awareness. And if the timeless part sounds a bit metaphysical, we will have a direct experience with it. We'll play with that. It's the never changing aspect, the always right with usness of unveiled awareness. So then, may I ask you, please be the boundless, loving, luminous presence of timeless awareness, boundless awareness, knowingly. So there's the knowing aspect, the knowing of the knowingness of knowing. So then here and there I will ask for a collective breath, kind of a somewhat synchronizing of our desire to awaken, to be in this world from this boundless, timeless perspective. Often in the Tibetan mind training traditions, Mahamudra and Sochen, the Lama calls out loudly, "But!" I won't do that again. I will just ask you to take a breath. But they speak of the child in the temple metaphor, like the all at onceness of all that we experience in the apparent inner and outer world. So to stop particularizing and open up, even if you have your eyes open, allow the periphery to be as present as the center. So just more like the mosaic of life, including your body. So really starting to discern the difference between what they call sem in Tibetan is how the mind appears, is semnyi, is what the mind actually is before we touch it, or let's say even attempt to stain it with thought. It can never be touched. It can only be veiled. Yeah, you notice that? And not being able to discern the difference between the mind with a little m and timeless awake awareness is the human tragedy. It's the contraction. And sometimes it's called spanda or spandarika, or the abhasa, the opening and closing of the universe of mind. And we notice it, we kind of collapse into that shell of our psychology and egoic tendencies. So we can feel that even if we're not doing it right now, we know it feels like. So let's take a breath together and open up from the heart essence, just from the heart open, have awareness arise, not confined by anatomy, just like a sphere of awareness open. And then we have a tendency also in our meditation, and that's what we really try to pay attention to, is that we don't try to transcend everything we are. And I know it's such a tender world, so transcendence, this feeling of get me out of here, I know what to do, I can meditate, I can just open up and pull myself out of here and maybe have this cosmic experience. But that is not what we do with Sochen and this track shot, they call it, the metabolizing of all our experience in our apparent inner and outer world through the healing light of timeless awareness. Because what you hear really a lot when these teachings flow is just as you are, just as you are. So let's take a breath right there. So now it's simultaneously the vast expanse. Can you open up? Notice that vast expanse of mind with the capital M. Timeless awareness and the just as you are. So the embodiment, the actuality of our beingness. And then boundless timeless awareness, when it arises in time and saturates our psychology and habitual mind patterns. And there might be still a little narrative like, I would like to be free from some of these patterns because they make me feel pain. So going into a transcendental state might have anesthetic qualities, and it's fair and valid to do some of that practice if you wish to do transcendental meditation. But that's not Sochen. That is not that healing openness of being and shining the healing light of being fullness upon everything that arises, and then upon itself. It knows that it knows. So when we do transcendental meditation, we easily get wrapped up in just sitting in this galactic rainbow bliss bath. When we do that, it also mutes the experience of interconnectedness. And it also does not give rise to any bodhicitta inspiration. It's removed. So really come and arrive here into the actuality of your beingness. And if you have a little bit of like, if your inner narrative goes, I don't really know what he means, just take a breath. Look between two thoughts into that openness. Yeah, there's an openness there. And that is not a blank state, right? It's radiant. It shines with I amness. That is the first exclamation of the Buddha in the world. I am, this experience of this profoundly personal experience, which is right. That is the uniqueness of you as the Buddha with her skillful means in the world. So in that radiance, in the open radiance, prior to words and letters, thoughts, emotions, and perceptions and feelings, that radiance is also the potentiality. Right? Feel the potentiality of your loving wisdom capacity, just sitting there. without even coagulating into form. Feel it in your heart essence. Now that's your meditation right now for this hour and for the rest of your life. This free in this radiant openness that tremors and pulses at the heart of this tender life. Feel the self-arising, self-liberating dynamism of this timeless awareness. Not just only getting soft and meek. Dujim Rinpoche said, these are the teachings of taking the power into your own hands. Not just touching the feet of someone and begging for help. Pleading for what's already shining at the core of your being. This actuality of the actuality of beingness is our birthright. And now we have this open, timeless perspective. I might be reading a few words of maybe Longchenpa or Shantideva or some things I remember that are healing and point at our true essence. And when we metabolize it to timeless awareness, it uses its apparent metaphysical quality. So Shantideva said, 1200 years ago or something, doesn't that feel timeless right now? May I be the protector to all those without protection, a leader for those that journey, a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore of awakening. May the pain of every living creature be completely taken away. May I be the doctor and the medicine. May I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world, until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements like the earth, May I always support life of all boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of various beings that reach to the limits of space. Just as you are. Just as you are. If I ask you, are you aware? Where do you go? What is the knowing of this experience? Experiences come and go, yet always I'm here. I, timeless awareness, welcome absolutely all experience. So now we have this experience of openness that is not the promise of future enlightenment. That is Source. That is the Guru within. Feel confidence right there. And with that confidence arises strongly the protector of wholeness. Putting that healing oxygen mask of timeless awareness on your own face and heart first. And now, just from this actuality of your beingness, just flow out to everyone on this call, making it a team flow. In this aggregate of uniqueness and uniformity of this timeless awareness, mingling, space mingling, heart essence mingling. There is a healing burst of wisdom energies and compassion just flowing out into that interest net, just by lighting up your nodule. Nodule sounds limiting. Just notice the everywhereness, so just flow out from the heart into all directions with a center that's everywhere and a periphery that's nowhere. And feel that collective hue, this interconnected mosaic of beingness, the uniqueness of this group right now, with its loving desire for this world to be also free. So in that deliberate flowing out or extending to each other, we facilitate each other's self-liberation. And if you're pulling a little too far out and become a little too disassociative, a little bit too removed, just without losing the vast expanse, feel the embodiment. So it's strong. You're also grounded while being vast. The body is a way of experiencing and perceiving through the medium of our embodiment. So we're not perceiving just through the eyes and ears alone, but through the whole body and the heart essence. We know now that they have discovered that the heart has synapses too. Just awareing from heart essence, a boundless heart. Yet sitting in the continuity of that direct perception of beingness, which is not a being, but being manifests being in all beings. Another way not to get too transcendent is not holding it too tight. Just allow the mind to move without contracting into it. And there, right away, the healing starts. Ancient emotions and thought structures that are not even yours or mine. Let them bathe in this healing light of beingfulness and just relax, relax attention. It's more diffuse, yet fresh and bright. And just allowing that openness is the path of spacious freedom. Okay, you identify this perspective that is not a perspective as being something that you can hold throughout your life. So it's truly the practice of non-meditation. Really noticing that timeless awareness takes over the functions of the mind. You can perceive the world directly like this and express directly from heart essence. No rehearsal needed. Boundless potentiality. How wonderful is that, to be free from that oppressive regime of not good enoughness coming from this egoic voice, this super ego of moral judgment. Just relax. Masambhava said that Sochen is sitting in the openness or living our life in this in openness of being is the practice or the path of intensity. It's a courageous heart stance to be this open to the tenderness of the world and our historic psychology. So let's maybe practice that a little. Keep your mind however you wish. If I guide something and you just want to stay in openness, let my voice be a babbling brook. Just feel the desire of my breath and energy for you to be free without words and letters. Or let's take a breath together and refresh. Ever youthful, fresh mind, holding each other in our boundless beingness. And maybe bring in a historic event from your life. You don't have to jump on the most traumatic one or anything. Just something that has a wobble in your emotional field. Not collapsing into it. Let it appear just gently in the embrace of timeless awareness. We are letting what was once trapped in time be metabolized by the field that has never been in time. So we're not just in a small way healing a memory, it's about healing the event itself and all those that were part of it. All of it is welcomed, not into analysis, but into clarity and compassion. Just metabolizing it to spacious, loving, radiant, timeless awareness. The fluidity of awareness, that what was frozen becomes fluid. The energy of the event dissolves. So when you are perceiving your life and your history from open, timeless awareness, we are no longer historical beings. We're ahistorical. It doesn't mean we don't have memories anymore. But the continuity of the rewounding stops, softens, unravels, dissolves. The architecture of the identity around the event just collapses. Let's take a breath right there. And what remains is not something healed necessarily. It's the open presence that metabolized it all without ever becoming it. Just not only flow out to everyone on this call, but just flow out to everyone that was part of your memory, your family, all beings in the world, those are in pain and are separate and confused and in fear. Just flow out. Let's take a breath right there. Collapse all visualizations. Don't need visualizations of any difficult places in the world and your psychology anymore. Just be the radiant presence of awareness, knowingly. If you're a little distracted, that's not a problem. It's just a sign of the beautiful creativity of your mind. Just allow the patterns to recede. Let timeless awareness open to timeless awareness as timeless awareness. The beauty is that awareness awakens to itself by itself. There's nothing to do. Just relax attention. Let awareness shine. And then the timeless aspect, if that still feels a little metaphysical to you. I notice awareness seems to fluctuate in time because events and movement, it seems to dim and brighten. But it's more like the movie screen upon which a life is projected. And the light in the projector, they don't fluctuate in time. Just be the light and don't collapse into the story. Being the light, brighten the mind. Yeah, that's an allowing, brighten the mind with a bit of desire or intention without any pushing or pulling. Let's take a breath right there. Fresh mind, ever youthful awareness. Simultaneous vast expanse and this profoundly personal who I amness in the world simultaneously. Like a sweet shimmer in all this vastness, just as we are, just as we are. In that open, direct perception, we start experiencing the divinity of all things. And experience all things as beauty and all beings as love. I rest in the fearless heart of being. This is my home, life after life, death after death. No mind can hold it, no story can bind it. It is here, unmoved by cause, untouched by time. I do not seek it, for I am it. Just a mere movement of seeking makes me be lost. I am it, indestructible, open, unborn. This state of beingness does not depend on belief, nor does it lean on hope. It is the actuality of being itself, radiant, immediate, and free. All that arises, all that dissolves, moves within this field of being, never outside it, never apart from it. In this, I openly stand, unshaken even in the face of shaking. Whole, whole, even in apparent brokenness. Alive in the boundless wholeness, source that knows no beyond. Here, now, always. I heard Andrew Holicek say, "This is where all heaven breaks loose. Can we handle our own divinity?" I love that. I have a few minutes left, so if you're starting to lean into a little restlessness, so just be a little restless. Just don't collapse. Don't collapse into any movement. Just kind of getting ready for the transitionless transition. No more meditating as hope, but meditating as a life perspective. So you can feel, so we identify the timelessness of awareness. Also, in the timelessness, all distance collapses. So there is the interconnectedness right there, just flying right into your heart and face. Just, oh. So when we flow out or extend, it's actually, even the languaging of that is limiting. It's this collapsing distance by just opening. We're all so far apart here on Zoom, and the beauty is like, oh, no distance. Where can you be where we are not? So Sochin is also about the realization of the purity of all things and of including our psychology. So we're extending from purity. Some people have spoken their concern that they don't feel comfortable maybe letting people in. But just realize that that flowing out part is coming from the purity of being. So no concern. So open to receive. Let's really one more time in this togetherness today flow out to each other, but also open your heart. Yeah, that is sometimes even more difficult for us to do. And we set our desire to stay with this loving a perspectiveful perspective of life, maybe be the essence of healing for all sentient beings in this interconnected sea of beings. Maybe express innate love, happiness, and peace. Maybe feel deeply into the beauty and boundless wholeness of our authentic nature. May our heart shine with compassionate understanding in this interconnected sea of beings. May we know peace and be peace. We vow to stay open and connected to our innermost wholeness. That vow is this very soft, pure desire. We wish to hold all those that enter our realm so they may find their own boundless wholeness and creativity, so that all may realize that love is found through loving, Maybe all continue to be together in love and acceptance, heart to heart, holding each other all the way home. Allow heaven to break loose in every experience of life. Be free. Fly free, my friends. Just hold your mind a little open. We're going to be together another 5 minutes or so. Maybe stop meditating if you are. Maybe look around a little. Are things radiant? Are you open? And in some of the groups where I'm allowed to maybe do some guiding, and we attempt to, or we share from our heart essence, so direct reporting on what it is like to be in this openness, which is an incredible, important healing thing. So if you want to unmute and just, it's not necessarily question and answers. You already have all the answers. Just open up. If you have something to say from your heart essence or from what happened in the last hour, that would be great. Just unmute.
I've got something, Timo.
Oh, great.
When you asked for a traumatic event to be brought up, but maybe not the worst one, I never know what's going to show.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. I
but
can, go ahead.
but a traumatic one did show
Oh, okay.
that I
Well,
wouldn't have picked. But hey, that's how it is, right? We're letting go of all this and all these obscurations and my judgments and stuff about the events. And Timo really helped me the other day because he shared what he kind of shared here in this teaching, that we can embrace the event without going into it.
yeah.
I forget how you say that.
Without collapsing into it is what I sometimes say.
That conversation he and I had was Friday, so he gave me perspective, and I was able to lean back from, at that time I had an event where I could hold the person and feel their suffering. Because, see, I realized what I've done in my life is when somebody's been suffering, I can sort of be there. But I've learned if I feel too much of that suffering, I go into it. I didn't know how to hold the space and be with them. But anyway, whatever you said sure helped me because I was able to hold this event, but yet be in spacious awareness. So then that event's healed and I'm healed because I'm just being there. So I want to just thank you.
Yeah,
This really works.
that is great reporting. So basically, we are not collapsing into the trauma, so we may experience what the other person or maybe our own psychology is feeling, because then we just encapsulated by it and are just basically continuing the pathology or the trauma, but staying open to the vast expanse, shining the healing light of boundless wholeness on it, while still having the embodiment and the creativity of the uniqueness of you in the world that knows exactly in that direct healing momentum will know exactly what to say or do or not say or not to. Sometimes we just work with the actuality of our beingness. Some people can't hear us, right? So they can't hear because they're just hearing through their psychology. So you all like deputized to be all healers and teachers. That's what happens. As soon as you know this space, that's it. You have to heal from this perspective for the rest of your life. It's not what you do, it's what you are. And what Glenda said, we do have an everyday group, but I don't do it every day. I just do it Wednesdays and some other events. So yeah, that is every morning at 8 o'clock Pacific. So if you want to come, that's my email, and
Timo,
you're all welcome. Yes. Who
may I just add to
else she said?
what Glenda said?
Yeah.
That Longchenpa reading and the phrases unshaken even when shaking, unbroken even when broken. Boy, that spoke to me. It helped me understand where I need to stay. I don't know how to put it other than that, but
Don't.
definitely
That
spoke.
was perfect.
So thank you.
Yeah, great. Nothing to add to that. Oh, we passed 9 o'clock. I think we run a tight ship here. Thank you all for coming. That was really wonderful. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful Sunday. Bye bye.